Big news out right now is that OpenAI is set to release a web browser within just a few weeks. Now, this is according to some special information, maybe inside information from sources being expressed by Reuters. So this should be somewhat reputable because that's a major news agency. So yes, a web browser. Now, note that this is a web browser, not just a search engine, because that's already sort of been happening already. And we have lots of people, lots of students, lots of people in general that are already starting to use ChatGPT and other AIs as their kind of default search engine. There's some good and some bad to that. We need proper AI literacy with everything, right? But that's already starting to happen. More and more people are starting to go to that as their initial way of getting into the internet and accessing information. But we're talking about a web browser. Now, this is different and really important for a couple of different reasons. So, first of all, when we're talking about search engines, well, here are the search engines that are currently in the lead. From StatCounter, which puts together information about everything dealing with the internet worldwide, it expressed that from June 2024 to June 2025, so a full year here, the market share for search engines is that, of course, Google dominates, right? Everyone uses Google. We're looking at 90.01%, with Bing coming in at 3.94, and then Yandex, which is really big in Russia and other countries around where the former Soviet Union were, that only makes up 2.29%. And then Yahoo is bringing it up with a little bit over 1%. And then there's a few others worldwide. But yes, Google dominates there. Now, when we look at overall statistics for worldwide dealing with browser market share, so this is an actual web browser, Chrome is in the lead, but the lead is a little bit less here. It has 66.58%, whereas Apple's Safari is in there with 17.78, and then we have Microsoft Edge with 5.16%, and then Firefox with 2.59, and then everyone else is 2 or below with a percentage. So then the question might be, okay, well, so what's the difference? Is it really that much of a difference, whether we're talking about the web browser or the search engine? I mean, it's all kind of the same for us. Well, no, actually, there's a huge difference because we have to think that if we're using a web browser, well, that web browser, that is having all of the information as far as where you're going, not just the search of like what you put into the search engine, but then where you actually go, what you actually do, the time spent in different areas. All of that information has to go through the actual web browser. So the web browser gives you way more information as opposed to just to the search engine. Additionally, the web browser itself would offer so much more opportunity to say advertise to you in several different ways. So we have to ask ourselves now, okay, well, if we're talking about an AI web browser, what would that even look like? Is there such a thing already that we could look at? And the thing is that there is a powerful new AI web browser that just came out. And this came out from Perplexity, which is another AI competitor up there. And it has been very powerful. It was much more in the limelight before because this was one of the first AIs that were directly connected with the internet, meaning that Perplexity would give you updated information, and it was doing that way before the other AI competitors were able to do that. Because remember, they were just using the pre-trained aspects of the AI, but Perplexity was able to connect to the internet. It was one of the first to be able to do that, to give you much more current information. But of course, now since the big dogs, right, like ChatGPT, now that they're able to do that, Perplexity has kind of gone down in popularity. But man, they shot up here recently because they came out with an AI web browser called Comet. So what does that actually look like? So it's an interesting web browser, and it's really powerful in different ways because it offers really intense AI integration with the ability to use AI in multiple windows at the same time and also maximize its agentic capabilities. So it's really interesting because you could use the AI to do again, ask it basic questions or have it create content for you, while at the same time using the other interface that it has where you can put in more agentic aspects where you can access things within your calendar, your email, all of these things. So it has agentic properties as well as the regular AI capabilities of it, but merged together. So it's really interesting, really powerful. The problem right now is that Perplexity, of course, is free and you can use it. They have subscription plans. Well, in order to access their actual powerful web browser here, you have to be on the $200 a month plan. So the only people who are able to use this right now are the ones that have the $200 plan. So to use this browser, it costs $200. So that's a big ask, but there are quite a few people up on the internet talking about how, yes, it is very powerful because of the agentic capabilities as well as the regular AI aspects. And of course, you have much higher usage allow with it because you are paying for it, right? So that gives us sort of a glimpse of possibilities that could come with an actual browser. Now, OpenAI's browser may or may not require a subscription. And in fact, if we think about different implementations, it would be to their benefit to not require a subscription, at least to have basic access to this browser. We have to think, well, what would that mean? Well, Sam Altman has talked a little bit about this in, again, previous months, where he's talked about that they could do the same thing that Google does, but do it better. Meaning that he said specifically at one point that it wouldn't be where you would get bombarded with like 10 sponsored ads before you get an actual search result. So this hopefully would be more consumer friendly where, yeah, they could integrate some ads in some places where, oh, you're looking for, if I ask the AI to do a search dealing with, let's say, a coffee maker, well, it could give me some advertisements for things that are on sale, and then I could ask it questions about what's on sale over here, and is this a good brand, and it could give me good updated information. So they're talking about possibilities like that. Because remember, the big thing with the web browser is that now it can give you more information as well as it has more opportunity to sort of advertise things to you, to charge you in different ways. And again, I don't want advertisement, right? But my big thing is that I want the AI to be free. I want there to be a free tier that will always be available to everyone. And if this is an aspect of an integrated browser, well, then that would be one way that they could continue to generate money and still offer a free AI, in perpetuity, meaning that it would always be available so that we can have some equity here, some equality for everyone in that, hey, at the very least, you have access to this AI. So I'm hopeful that it would be beneficial, sort of like the Google browser, because I use Chrome a lot, as well as the Google actual search engine, but with less advertisement as far as done in the right way. Because this is the big thing, right? Is that we want the AI to be powerful, to have agentic qualities so that we could do more. And it's all going to be about that user interface. That is going to be key. We need an AI that can be integrated in the right way within the browser, within the search engine, so that we don't even see a difference. We don't want to see separations. Right now, one of the biggest problems with AI is that there are all these tools and they're all spread out, and if everything was integrated quite nicely in that nice interface that just worked, all the things that we don't want to necessarily see could be in the background where we could access if we wanted to. But if it was just the key information of what we're looking for to save us time, to be free, at least on some tiers, that would be really powerful and impactful. So we'll see what happens. Now we have to continue on and thinking about this because the hope here is that greater competition will be better for us, meaning because as a consumer, we can benefit from the competition going on. So then we have to think, okay, well, what's going on as far as competition? So we have this company with Perplexity coming out, but it costs $200 to access. We have OpenAI that says that within just a couple of weeks, they're going to be releasing this browser. And then we have to think, okay, well, what about Microsoft? They have Copilot. Well, they have already integrated it within their browser. If you have the Microsoft Edge browser, they have a button right there that's the Copilot where you can access it at any time. But once again, the problem is the integration, right? The user interface, it's still somewhat different and it's not led by the AI. It's sort of just an attachment of this AI within that. We can see things going on with Google as well. There is no specific information of them releasing a new browser, but it would make sense in that they're already starting to sort of turn into this AI first type of company. Because even now, when you go to use Google, well, it's automatically giving you an AI response. When you do most types of searches, it'll give you, hey, here's what the AI says. Here's what Gemini is saying about this. So that is being integrated within the search engine, within the browser as well. So it's a matter of being able to do that in the most effective way to have the best type of user experience in using the interface. Grok, Grok 4 recently came out, and there's no speculation right now as far as them creating a browser. That would be a whole other can of worms, but they are working on expanding their ecosystem for people to access Grok and use their AI. Remember, originally it was just an aspect or a part of Twitter, of X, but then it expanded and now it's a standalone web page right now if you go to Grok. And it's also now being offered within Tesla. So within Tesla vehicles, you can have hands-free discussions with the AI that's being built in to the vehicle itself. So now that's another part of its ecosystem. So lots of competition as far as accessing the internet through an AI browser of some sort. Lots of things to think about here. Again, we have to understand that advertising might be a component of this. Subscription-based access to a browser is one possibility, such as Perplexity. So I'm very interested to see what happens with OpenAI. This will open up a bunch of things. Because remember, we have to think about how are our students accessing AI. Is it easy for them? Are there hurdles? Are there issues? We need to incorporate that if we start to assign things to help them develop AI literacy, to develop these AI skills. So it's important for us to at least be aware of these things and what's going on with access to AI. Now, what are your thoughts? I'm very interested in what you think as far as speculation on what this could look like as far as an OpenAI web browser. We have Perplexity out there, but I'm expecting a lot from OpenAI since they're the overall leaders. So we should be expecting a lot from them because they're the ones that sort of lead the pack with all these developments. So it'll be interesting to see. So please tell me what you think, and we can discuss and continue to contemplate possibilities while also being purposeful in understanding so that we can take this and implement this within our overall academic journey with AI, with our students, and with teaching and learning overall. And remember, learning is for life. Thank you, everyone. I appreciate you watching this video, and I would also greatly appreciate you subscribing, liking, putting in some sort of comment, and definitely sharing with everyone so that we can continue to develop our community of inquiry and learn from one another. Additionally, please be sure to check out the books as well as the online courses that are available because they help to support this channel. Thank you very much.